Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, told you I was going to bring some Luther into this mix. Ladies and gentlemen, Luther, the great Vandross, is going to be in our background today. He won't be too loud because the Bluetooth is a little bit further away from me, and I got to make sure he doesn't drown me out and distract me. There are a couple of things I wanted to talk about today. This past year, I've been getting a lot of questions, but you want to know what everybody has been asking, the majority of people? They want the dessert. They don't want to help prepare the meal, buy the ingredients, or even learn how to cook. No. They just want to enjoy the end result. That's so disappointing. So why don't we do something? Everybody's into this stupid New Year thing, and they make these resolutions. Now, I'm not a resolution person because I don't play that junk. It's not a new year for me. Tomorrow is just another day. Now, there's two reasons for that. Not because I was a Jehovah's Witness or anything like that. Jehovah's Witnesses don't care about New Year's Day. It's not a day to celebrate. Now, do they mark it? Yes, Jehovah's Witnesses celebrate anniversaries all the time. They have no problem celebrating wedding anniversaries because it's a special day. We celebrate the day that Christ died. Why do we celebrate that? Because if it wasn't for his death, there would be no life. Some of y'all are going to understand that. Many of you won't. Many of you won't care. Guess what? I don't care whether you care or not. I'm just making a statement. Now, see, here's the thing. When a person states a fact, it matters not whether or not you agree with it. You see, what you cannot do is argue a fact. Now, I want you to hold on to that because that's the most powerful tool you have when you go into a courtroom. Only state facts. Do not state codes. Do not talk about a code. Do not talk about the Uniform Commercial Code. Keep the codes out of your mouth. Congressional acts of Congress, statutes at large, and the Constitution. That's your foundation. You don't need certified copies because if they're official laws of the United States, then everybody's supposed to know it, including the judge. So what do? Introduce that stuff and put the judge on judicial notice. If you're sending out notices to parties, you put them on judicial notice and you state the facts. They cannot argue those facts. Some of you are going to understand. Many of you are not going to understand because they sell crack outside the windows of vehicles now. Okay, so anybody can walk up to a vehicle and buy crack. And apparently many of you have done that already. I'm not joking. Many of you are so far out there in your thinking, your thought processes. Now, see, some people talk about me because I am animated. And they want to express opinions. But you want to know something? And I want to say this. I want to pause Luther, but I'm not going to pause Luther. I'm going to turn Luther down just a little bit. The next song is coming on anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, the one thing that none of you can do is stand next to me and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about or I don't have any understanding or knowledge of anything. You cannot challenge my understanding of things. And that's okay. And the reason why I say you can't do it is because it's a fact. Because guess what? Luther! The one thing I don't do, ladies and gentlemen, is I don't state anything unless it's a fact. That's why you can't argue with me. You cannot argue a fact. You cannot debate a fact. You cannot even question a fact. Now look, on the Redress channel, and I was thinking about putting this on the Redress channel, but I'm not going to, because we're going to talk about those people and what they've asked me about all year. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys something. I pulled this up just before I did the video. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. 1 Corinthians 10th chapter, verse 13. Now, many of you may be aware of this, but a lot of you are not. So I'm going to point it out to you. There are a lot of people out there who have a belief and a profession in God. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to mention the word church here, but it means congregation. But we ain't going to talk about that just yet. Let's see, which one of these is you? I don't want to go there. I want to go to the Bible Gateway. Let's do the Gateway, okay? Because it has different versions of it, but I want to show you something about this particular verse. I wish it wasn't like this. I wish. I cannot make it larger because I'm not used to doing it on this. So what I'll do is I'll just read it. It says, no temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. Then it says, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. Did you get the point? Ladies and gentlemen, people go through all kind of stuff every single day of their lives, and they think there's no way out. And y'all don't understand it, do you? Do you not see where it says he will provide a way out so that you can endure it? There is nothing you can't handle. There is nothing you can endure, including when you do something stupid. I'm not joking. Including when you do something stupid and you have to suffer the consequences, he will make it so that you can endure the consequences. Does that mean you get to keep doing stupid things? No. He says he'll make it so you can endure the consequences, but he's not going to shorten the consequence, shorten the endurance, shorten the punishment. Understand that. It just says he will make a way out for you. Why will he make a way out for you? Why will he provide you a way out when you did something stupid? Because he is faithful. He says he won't allow you to be tempted beyond what you can bear, because most of our temptations come as a result of Satan. Okay, give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure it went to the next song. Luther Vandross is doing the Ain't No Stopping Us Now. Down, now it feels like love is finally coming around. No, you got a way to go. And where we're going, I don't know. We don't let nothing hold us down. Give me a second to check something. I got to make sure I'm still recording, and it ain't popping up. There we go. Whew. All right. Now, the reason why I'm showing this to some of you, honestly, because some of you needed to understand this because you didn't get it. Okay, pay attention. Look at how many times it says you in this one scripture. So this is personal. This is not obscure. This is not from a distance. This is personal. It says no temptation. Temptations come from where? Us and Satan. Sorry. Remember, he tempted Eve. He tempted Adam. He tempted, what do you call it? Jesus. He tempts everybody. Okay. So no temptation, whether it be from him or your own personal desires. No temptation has affected anybody that hasn't been common to mankind. You see, Satan has no new tricks. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't have any new tricks. He's an old dog. He hasn't picked up any new tricks. That's why he keeps doing the same thing over and over and over again. Why? Not because he's an idiot, not because he's insane, but because what he does works. Why would you get rid of something that works? That's like going out there and saying, hey, I got this 55-inch screen TV and I'm going to go buy myself another 55-inch screen TV that does the exact same thing as this one, although it doesn't have this feature, and this feature, but that's okay. I'm buying it because it's brand new. Ain't nothing wrong with this one, but I want the other one because it's brand new. That's how stupid that is. Ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't have to do anything new. Everything Satan does It's been working. So no temptation has ever overtaken you that isn't common to mankind. And Jehovah, he can't be anything but faithful. Can you imagine Jehovah being unfaithful? That would be stupid, realizing something like that. So he is faithful. That's a statement, that's a fact that you cannot get around. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to man. Again, a fact. Now you're starting to get where we're going with all of this. You can't argue these 2 points. Then it says, he will not let you be tempted beyond what you can handle, what you can bear. That's a guaranteed. It's a fact. It says, but when you are tempted, he will also, in addition to being faithful, he will provide a way out so that you can endure it. Ladies and gentlemen, it has nothing to do with love. Hold on now. It has nothing to do with love. This is an obligation. He guarantees this. He has guaranteed this is what he's going to do. So he's obligated to do this. That's why it's a guarantee. It's a fact. I'm so glad we were able to talk about that, because guess what you guys are able to see? You're able to now look at the scriptures and see what's a fact and what isn't. For instance, if anybody says it's a mystery and we don't understand it, then that's not a fact, because there's no such thing as it's a mystery and we don't understand it. The understanding is there. It says if we keep asking, seeking, knocking, we will have that understanding. We will gain wisdom if we go to the source of wisdom. All you got to do is understand. If it doesn't make logic, it doesn't make sense. Facts are facts. It's just really, 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 really that simple. So let's get to the conversation most people have been having all year, no matter what consult I have. And I'm going to give you this information. Take the information for what it's worth. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, they've been asking how to make money, how to pay their bills and all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no one-stop shop for that. Okay? However, what I did, and I'm taking a breath because I want to slow down. So I'm taking that.
Let's take it to a different level, honey.
Type of breath. Ladies and gentlemen, I took and founded several corporations. Couldn't put everything under one roof because we didn't want anybody saying that we were doing fraud or trying to do a scheme or trying to do something against government and all that stuff, because that's the first thing they like to say. One particular organization, SAA, I specifically made separate, completely, had nothing to do with it, name wasn't on nothing dealing with that organization. For over 2 years, it remained that way. Why? Because I was utilizing that organization as the arbitrator. Why? Well, first, the individuals only knew of me. None of them knew me personally. And the law didn't care if an arbitrator knows the parties. That doesn't stop an arbitration from happening. It doesn't make an arbitration biased or anything. It's just I wanted to get rid of any improprieties, any suggestions, so that I could set idiots straight when they did bring up something like that. We put up templates online, basically a map showing people exactly what was required of a contract to be binding and for it to be 100% valid. As long as you gave notice, served it on the parties, there was a prior relationship, it had an expiration date, had an opt-out clause, an opportunity to opt out, was doable and workable. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the law, that's a valid agreement. Now, the agreement worked this way. If they didn't supply the documentation you were asking for, then they automatically accepted the terms of the agreement. That's even if they opted out. See, once they attempted to opt out and they had a duty to respond and they said, we opt out of the arbitration clause, well, hold on now. There's a clause in each of the contracts that says if you opt out and you fail to provide the information being required while having a duty to provide that information, then you opt back into the arbitration agreement. They had notice. And yes, you can put such a clause in a contract. It's what we refer to as a catch-22. Give us the information we're requesting and opt out of the arbitration clause. Hey, no problem, because there'll be no breach. You follow the rules, there'll be no breach, everybody. That's why it's called doable and workable. It's a fair agreement. What are you required to do? Well, if you can prove this, that, and the other, I will pay whatever it is you claim I need to pay, or I will do whatever it is you claim I need to do. That's your part of the agreement, as fair as it could possibly be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what if I have a prior agreement with the party, and what if it's a company, let's say, okay, let's do it this way. I'm getting ready to go after Walmart, and the company they use called OnTrack, causing me a lot of problems. And because they're corporations, they, man, take us to court. I don't want to take them to court. No, I've already sent them the contract with the arbitration clause. Okay, they've already breached that. The only thing I have to do right now is have the arbitrations conducted. See, I sent them the contract. They breached the contract. Now we have the arbitration conducted. I wait the 100 days, because it has to be 100 days, 3.5 months, just about 3 months, 10 days. So 100 days, 90 days plus 10. I wait the 100 days, and then I send them a notice, hey, I forgive you all of the debt. And then I add that to my taxes on the Schedule C as an expense. It's a loss, but it's an expense. Because when the arbitrator issues an award, ladies and gentlemen, they now owe you that money. And every day they don't pay you that money, you are lending that to them. So it is a loan. Every day they don't pay when they have a duty to pay, and according to the law, an arbitrator issues a final and binding award upon the parties, then the parties are bound and obligated. You don't need a court order. Your court order is the arbitration award. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just simply forgive them of the debt. After 100 days, I do my 1099-C, 1099-A, and I have the credits. Then I file my taxes. I don't have to wait till the end of the year. I can file quarterly. I can file biannually. I don't have to wait until the end of the year to file taxes to document my credits. Now, wait, hold on. Many of you don't have any cash. Why? Because you're having taxes taken out of your paycheck and you're having to wait till the end of the year to get your refund. And so you're strapped for cash because you're paying all this money. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my song. And I know y'all know this song. This is Now and Here. What you mean to me, here in my heart, I believe that your love is all I'll ever need. Sorry, Luther. More than I'm sorry. I was singing the second verse, but I'm going to let Luther stay in my background for now. Ladies and gentlemen, after you file your taxes and you document your credits, it doesn't matter which tax preparer you go to. If you have the credits, you don't have to show them the paperwork where the credits were accumulated. You just have to show them the 1099-A, 1099-C, the acceptance document from the IRS. That's all. You don't have to show them the actual 1099. You just have to show them the acceptance and the amount that it was for. Okay? It's an expense. Just that simple. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 31st of December. 2022. And I need to make sure those of you on the East Coast are aware that this storm system that's passing through this time, again, here is the third storm in a row. And what this one is doing, we are having rain for at least the next 3 hours. And this is a heavier rain because this one, they're actually warning about flooding in the area. Now, it is some flooding, but not the type of flooding you see on TV. Okay? But the wind is blowing, so there's wind with this system. It's a warmer system. We've been in our 50s and 60s the last couple of days, which is a big difference from last week, where we were in the 30s, 20s, and teens. So when that cold air and that warm air mixes over New Mexico, Texas, Alabama, what's the other one? Oklahoma, Missouri, that's going to be a lot of thunderstorms. And they're actually suggesting tornadoes. So I want you guys to pay attention. Tornadoes in the wintertime, really almost unheard of. But here we go. So prepare yourselves. All right, let's get back to the tax credits, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, after you document, and you document it, you document the whole process. You document when you sent it, how you sent it, you document it. You write a simple statement of everything that was done, that there was a prior relationship, that they breached the agreement between the parties that had an arbitration clause. The arbitration clause, uh, you not the arbitration clause, but the arbitrator issued an award. You don't have to explain all the stuff in between. Just that the arbitrator issued an award in your favor. The opposing party, in owing this business-related debt, refused to pay. You counted the debt as being worthless on such and such day. You can say the debt became worthless on this day and put down the date the debt became worthless, which is usually 90 days after the award was issued. Yes, you can, 100 days after the award was issued. You can deem the debt to be worthless. You can actually deem it to be worthless 30 days after the award is issued if you get the award done by SAA, because they give them 30 days to pay. So you can deem it worthless 30 days after the award is issued. And once you document it as worthless, and you have to document it in a statement, then you go ahead and write that junk off. Now, let's say I go to the gas station and I pay taxes. I pay taxes on my bank account every time they're charging me interest. The interest they charge you on your bank account, you get that back in the credit, right? You go back and look at IRS tax topic 453. Fees, interest, dividends. All the monies you guys have been paying for rents, you get to write that off, right? Now, if anybody ever questions you, bring them back to the March 9th, 1933 Act, where Congress took away the people's gold and said that upon the promissory notes of these people, there you go, that this stuff was to be offset, and that you wrote a promissory note, and after that, you gave responsibility to the local Federal Reserve agent. Ladies and gentlemen, go look at IRS tax topic, not IRS tax topic, sorry, Federal Reserve Circular 10 and the Federal Reserve Act, Section 16, subsections 1 and 2. Notice how the application goes to the local Federal Reserve agent. The local Federal Reserve agent, under the law of agency, do your research of the law of agency and you'll understand. The local Federal Reserve agent, under the law of agency, then assumes responsibility and the obligation by agreeing to be the attorney in fact. As a result, they are responsible for making sure that that debt is offset, that that debt is discharged, not you. So once you understand that your wages, your salaries, your interest, your dividends, your fees, all of that junk can be written off. Do yourself a favor. Go back and read. Give me a second. I gotta pause Luther. Hold on, Luther. Where you at, Luther? That ain't Luther. Uh-oh. Oh, Luther's up. I gotta pause him. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Go this way. Luther, hold on 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, because many of you are not understanding this, I'm going to do you the largest favor. Many of you have read IRS Tax Topic 453 several times. So let me point out something that you didn't pay attention to, and my hope is that you'll pay attention to it from this point forward. And for those people who haven't listened to the video up to this point, they cut it off after the first 10 minutes because they didn't want to hear the rest of it, they miss out. Ladies and gentlemen, go back and read IRS Tax Topic 453. Read the very first paragraph. After it talks about the accrual method. Now, it doesn't actually use the word the accrual method. What they use is many people are cash method taxpayers. Okay. Right after that, it talks about the other parties being non-cash method taxpayers getting to write off wages, salary, rents, fees, dividends. Excuse me. What does that have to do with loaning money to someone? No, no, no. Hold on. Go back and read it. It mentions all of those things that have nothing to do with the first sentence. If you've loaned money to someone and they have not paid you back, you might have a bad debt. But it counts rents, salaries, dividends, fees as all being bad debts. You remember that 445 form? Well, y'all need to start writing off these court filing fees. Write that junk off. All these taxes y'all have been, do you not know that all the taxes that you paid, you're going to get that back in a refund in full if you write off your debts? So go back and read again IRS Tax Topic 453 and notice the things it says you can write off as a loss: wages and salaries and rents and fees and dividends and interest. Go and take a look again and then ask yourself, wait a minute, this ain't just talking about lending money to someone, so I don't actually have to lend it to someone. Oh, snap. Man, that means I get to write off everything. I get to write off my gas. I get to write off my utility bills. I get to write off my phone bill because that's a business expense. Because I conduct my own personal business on my phone. Oh, God, Lord have mercy. There's a whole lot of information this man be talking about. Back to Luther. Thank you, Luther. Sorry about that, homie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just so hope that you guys understand what was just said. Everybody wants to know how to make, and they're not trying to figure out how to adjust what they've been doing so that they're taking in more. If you got to write off your entire salary, do you know how much money you would actually end up making? Remember, there is no money. There is no money. So how can you be taxed on something that has no value? I apologize. Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, they're taxing you on something the Treasury has already said has no value. How can you be taxed when they've taken your gold? Remember, it was the IRS, excuse me, not the IRS, Congress, who said that their intentions were that the people paid no interest on the money so long as the, pay attention, gold was seized and that Federal Reserve note was in circulation. Oops, aren't Federal Reserve notes still in circulation? So why are you guys paying interest and fees on that junk? Hold on. Loneliness start to fill my eyes. I can't breathe, but I refuse to try. I'm sorry. That's Luther, y'all. Got to be very strong to keep holding on. That's my song. Y'all know I go there. That's why I haven't played Luther in a long time, because he does this to me. Luther can sing, y'all. I didn't like Luther at first. I mean, Never Too Much was my song. Don't get me wrong. When he first came out, Never Too Much was my song, and I don't care who he was with before that. It wasn't my style of music. I was a youngster. But as I grew older and I started listening, came into my, woo. Anyway, Luther Vandross. Back to the understanding, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't done it, you need to do it now. Go to the internet, type in IRS tax topic 453. The first thing that's going to pull up is IRS tax topic 453, bad debt deduction. That's what you want to click on, the one for the IRS.gov. That's your friend. Read the first paragraph. Skip past the going over this publication and that publication. That's the distraction. That's not the interest here. Focus on what you get to write off. Oh, you want to do that now? Hold on. Let's do this now. Hold on. IRS tax topic. Uh-oh, it won't let me do it because I'm doing a video. Dang it. Hold on. IRS TAXTOPIC. It should have been one of the first ones here since everybody's going there. 453. Because see, some of y'all don't believe me. See, the first one, IRS.gov. He didn't mean it, y'all. He met somebody. All right, notice what it says here. Like I said, you want to skip all that stuff, that generally stuff. We don't want none of that. We're going to start right here. You see, it talks about if you are a cash method taxpayer. We don't care about that, okay? However, we want to focus on this right here. Follow me. No, I don't want to go there. I told you to leave the links alone. This is the part we want to focus on. Okay? Let's even go back right there. We're going to change one word. If you are not a cash method taxpayer, you generally can take a bad debt deduction. Pay attention, bad debt deduction, because this is about debts, bad debts. This has nothing to do with lending monies to somebody singularly. This is bad debts. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you work for a living and they're taxing you on that. Okay, that means that it's costing you to work. Sorry, that's a bad debt. Hold on. You can take a bad debt deduction for unpaid salaries, wages. How much are you worth? Okay, rents, fees, interest, dividends, and similar items. It says you can take a bad debt deduction on that stuff. Look, I told you, my actual salary when I do consultation is $1,295 per hour. Starting tomorrow, my actual salary will be $3,500 per hour. As of tomorrow. Why? Because I can prove, I know what I'm talking about. I can prove by all of these videos and the information and the going before judges and the experience that I've had since I was 15, going into court, speaking on my own behalf and helping so many other people with their legal stuff, that I've earned the right. Now, why $3,500? Why not $10,000? Because I'm being as reasonable as I possibly can. $3,500 seems reasonable to me. Okay? That's reasonable. But it's up to me because I'm the only person who can determine what my worth is. Some people would say, oh, my worth is $100,000 an hour. Now, see, those stupid people, that's what I said, stupid. Well, you shouldn't call people stupid. Because I said $100,000 doesn't mean I'm stupid. No, it just means you're stupid. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means you're stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody's asking you to guess how much you're worth. You don't guess this. You have to know what your value is. And you cannot just say, well, my value is $1 million a year. See, that's where stupid comes in it. It has to be compared to other people in the same field. Now, again, as a CEO of a corporation, there are CEOs out there being paid $3 million a year, $10 million a year. So does every CEO deserve $10 million a year? No. Hold on now. You have to deal with industry, business. It has to be reasonable. So that's why I say stupid people. They don't think, they just do. You all need to do your research. I'm pointing something out to you. I could have pointed this out to you months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago when we first showed people this. But that wasn't the point, ladies and gentlemen, because I didn't want people to get sidetracked. To this day, very few people have understood IRS Tax Topic 453. To this day, very few people have understood IRS Tax Topic 453, even though it's right here. They didn't even understand this part right here. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor. We're going to go back for a second. Stop the love, y'all. You know what? Let's do that. PICFRINGE Fringe Benefit Guide. Yeah, we're going to do IRS Tax Fringe Benefit Guide. Ladies and gentlemen, if you really, really, really want to get yourself in a different tax bracket, go over this Employee Tax Fringe Benefit Guide. All SACCOM, SAA, AmeriLegion, AMCF, EON Foundation, all of them qualify for fringe benefits. That's what their credits are all about. Do your research, people. Now look, we'll talk more about this in the coming so-called new year. I just wanted to give you guys something to hold on to, okay? Got Luther in my background and he's saying, gotta stop to love and let's celebrate all the love we got. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is one for the road. I hope that this information proves to be beneficial. One day you'll discover that I'm the one who loves you, that no one does you better. Sorry, it's Luther. All right, so Luther's gonna, because he can't stand the lonely days, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all keep this information as your main focus. They're getting ready to change the system over. You need to start collecting your credits now. Because remember, they're going to do an offset, dollar for dollar. Tax credits are dollar for dollar. Pay attention, tax credits are dollar for dollar. They're going to do an offset. You might as well prepare your credits now. Some of you are going to understand, some of you are not going to understand. Some of you are going to take shortcuts. You got to stay within the framework of the law. You cannot sit up there and finagle. You cannot sit up there and come up with, I'm going to do it this way because I know it'll work. That's not how things work. You have to do your research specifically. All right? But I got to go. Luther, take us on out of here.